Greetings to everyone. We are on October 12, 2024, and we are in Uganda, Gpms.world representative meetings. Yes, Rick, if you would like to start the meeting.
Yes, thank you, Beatrice. For everyone here, please, it's important to keep a orderly meeting, that when you're not speaking, that you keep the microphones off, if you will. And when you wish to, yes, and when you wish to speak, just unmute the microphone. So, as I said, Beatrice is our host. She is a GPMS guardian as well. And with this, we are very grateful to be having our first meeting with you, brothers and sisters. One of the reasons is because you are relatively new to the GPMS family, if you will. We do have already in Uganda an orphanage of alliance of about 75 different alliances situated around Jinja and perhaps Kampala areas. So before I continue, are you able to hear me well, Kawuba? Are you able to hear everything I am saying?
Yeah, please, your mic, open your mic. Just open your mic when you are speaking, or open your mic.
Yeah, right now this is the Soba speaking. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Are you getting me now? Yeah.
Yes.
This is now Soba Farouk speaking, the one who is representing GPMS, was introduced GPMS in this region. This is Soba Farouk. I've been getting Rick has been speaking that he's having some connection is representatives in Jinja, around Kampala. Right now we are this side very deep remote in the village. It is called Luuka district. It is called the Luuka district. We've combined the Luuka district and the Mayuge district. We are having CBOs representatives. We are having group representatives. We are having leaders. Right now, people are trying to connect on as we keep going. People will come online. People will keep coming online. People are going to join. That's still connecting since we're in remote area. That's why the network is a bit down, but we are getting you very well. We are getting you very well.
Excellent.
So as let me first give you Charles to have something with the operating Hands of Mercy Children's Foundation. Let him have some word as I keep connecting on other people. I'm with Soba Farouk. Charles.
Okay, thank you. I'm representing Hands of Mercy Children's Organization Uganda. As a hello?
Yes, yes.
Hands of Mercy Children's Organization Uganda. So far, we are working in 2 districts, Luuka and Mayuge. Our target benefit.
Okay, the internet is lost.
Women and other households. And also on the side of children, the marginalized and the disadvantaged children from those households. We are looking on the aspect of people with disability.
Okay.
Disability. Also, we are looking on the households affected and infected with HIV, because here in Uganda, Uganda, HI have limited what? Resources. That's why we are yearning for what? For support. We are trying to implement, and we are looking at the targeted beneficiaries. For example, in the two districts, the district of Luwuka, for example, you have 50 groups composing of all those peoples with those categories. Each group having 30 members. We look at their caregivers. We engage them in different what? Activities. So even the children, they are embedded inside. Then on the side of Mayuge, because we are currently operating the two districts, Mayuge, we have in 20 groups.
Okay, so the internet right now is not working. You may see the video later. So all the people that they have right now, the HIV, they will be just fine in the new world because there will be a lot of technology. Sorry.
May I politely interrupt? Yes, Kuuba, when you're speaking, perhaps where your internet bandwidth is so low, if you put off the video and just use the audio when you're speaking, and it will make the internet stronger with your connection so we can hear you. Could you hear what I just said?
Are you hearing what Rick is saying? Are you hearing what Rick is saying?
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting you now. This is sober. I'm trying to make connections come online live. Yeah, it's getting you now. Now
Yes.
you can continue.
Farouk, first come, Farouk.
Yes, please, Mr. Ricky.
Yes, please. So when any of you are speaking, just take your camera off and just use audio, and this strengthens your internet connection, and then we can hear you better. Is that clear?
Okay, please. Okay, please. Let me try to. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've got you. I've got you.
All right.
Now,
Go ahead now, please, Charles, with what you were saying. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I was on Mayuge district. For the case of Mayuge, so far you have 20 groups composing of 30 members from the vulnerable households. So we are trying to empower them economically so that they can earn a living. They can earn what? They can earn a living. So that they can do what? They can earn a living. Composing of 600 beneficiaries. But normally we are looking at the challenges of what? Supporting them. That's the what? And the total population is too huge, but the resources are scarce. So our appeal was like, in case of any support, any intervention, in case you can come in, we shall really appreciate and thank you. But as for now, let me hand over to my colleague.
Yeah, Rick, nice to hear from you. This is Tadeo from Hands of Mercy Children's Organization. As Ariane said by my colleague Charles, we have tried to map out these households which are most vulnerable within these two districts of Mayuge and Luuke. And we are trying to implement some activities using a certain approach called the VSLA methodology. And this methodology, it is allowing us to mobilize these households together and purposely to increase on their income base, because we are looking at the beneficiaries being the caregivers themselves, the people with disabilities. We are looking at the youth being and the young children, both female and male. Therefore, this methodology has allowed us, these caregivers, to mobilize some resources from the little they earn. Since we've seen that they cannot come out from poverty independently, but they need to come together in a pool and they start soliciting little from what they earn. And we've did it. We've went further, conducting some trainings, like financial literacy trainings. We've also conducted the selection planning and management of small income generating activities to boost their financial base. Therefore, we've tried to do that. And this area of economic strengthening, it has allowed us also to implement other programs. Like, for instance, among the young children, we've conducted the parenting sessions. And these parenting sessions, they have enabled us, these caregivers, both men and women, to understand the roles and the responsibilities of their young children in terms of education, in terms of growth and development. Because we understand that when we are teaching parenting sessions doesn't ignore whether you are rich or you are poor. We need to conduct these sessions so that the children enjoys conducive environment when they are at school, when they are at home, when they are growing. Because we believe that young children need parents to come in and conduct what is needful. Apart from that, we have also dealt with the youth. Basically, these youth, they have a serious gap via work, and they have lived in comfort zones. They have lived in comfort zone. Therefore, they have negative attitudes towards work. And we have a curriculum that we are trying to implement among the youth, and this is mostly on their mindset change towards work. Do we want them at least to live a life of a resilient life so that they can understand values and skills that they have potential and ability to go and start work. Since it is the biggest population, with the teams of Hands of Mercy Children's Organization, we have a big population. We have a long journey to go with the youth, since we want them at least to change their mindset towards work. And a few that we've tried to now to train, they have started giving out testimonies and success stories about work, and they are living comfort zone and they are trying to do the best. And we still have a long way to go. Therefore, we need support, if there is any support, to allow the youth also realize that they can live in a stable environment so that they can achieve their goals and objectives as the youth and they grow. So we are still having a long way to go. Still, we are dealing with household living with HIV, AIDS, affected and infected. We are trying to mobilize and carry out a massive campaign so that they can now start avoid this kind of coming near the risk of getting arrested with this disease. So we are trying to do that also. So we still need more support via such an area. Therefore, Rick, let me hand over to my colleague also and say something.
Yes, good evening, sir. I'm called Magume Emmanuel. I work as the M&O officer in the Hands of Mercy. We are really so happy to see you, and we also welcome your support in the organization. Currently, as my colleague has also talked about it, we are also in sustainable agriculture, whereby we are supporting these vulnerable groups of people, mainly the widows, in better farming agronomies. And we have been giving them different capacity building initiatives. And we have also been giving them some inputs like seeds and giving them trainings to ensure that they can be able to support the vulnerable groups of people, mainly the children that they are supporting. When it comes to scholastic materials, as Hands of Mercy, you see these households, the parents are too vulnerable, they cannot support them, but we have tried our level best to make sure that we support them with scholastic materials and also provide them with counseling and guidance trainings to ensure that they can be able to sustain their livelihood. When it comes to income generating activities, we have initiated them in different mentorships, and currently most of our groups are doing what we call the VSS, the village savings, whereby they sit on a weekly basis and save their little money that they have, and at the end of the day or at the end of the month, they can borrow out that money and invest in different activities that can help them generate some income and support the vulnerable groups of people. Generally, the people that we are dealing in are not in good conditions, but we have tried our level best as Hands of Mercy to say that we can support them with all the little that we have in all activities that they are doing. I think I can hand back to my colleague to continue from there. Maybe if you have something to say, you can raise your concern, sir.
Yes, Cedric.
Yes.
Yes, thank you all. I do have several things to say with this. And how I will begin with this, I need to outline basically and simply again what GPMS is. And what GPMS is doing, it's a worldwide voting platform, it's a worldwide referendum where we are gathering the consent of every man, woman, and child to comprise a majority vote worldwide that ratifies the all abundant new GPMS system into law worldwide. So, is that clear what I just said? So, this is a worldwide vote, is GPMS to collect the majority vote so we can bring in this new free system. What I have said just so far, is that clear before I continue?
Yes, yeah, we are. Yes, you have got you, and
So you
yes,
perfect. So
because
you
right now,
understand that.
as Hands of Math, we have welcomed the program, and as earlier discussed with my colleagues, for us, we don't have an objection with it. But what we also look at is the way how we can help these vulnerable groups of people. And I think if we compare your program within our programs, I think we can be able to support these vulnerable groups of people, mainly the children, the widows, the women, and all the disabled. So I think your program can be productive on our side if there is need and there is support. And this will help us to see that we can continue out with the program.
Let me say our program, which is
Yes.
GPMS. So yes,
Yes.
one of the beneficial attributes that it does while we're collecting the majority voice worldwide is that it brings communities together that are already there. For
Yes.
example, all of you in Uganda with the 75 Orphanage Charity Alliance already there with GPMS. So, what we
Yes.
are doing is, yes, bringing all together at the same time as we collect the voice. And by doing this, it gives all more access to external resources on a temporary basis to sustain you until we get this majority voice. Now, it's very important to know that
Yes.
we need to get this majority voice as soon as possible. It is the priority. For every day that we waste, around the world, about 15,000 children are dying each day of hunger. And this is not acceptable. What GPMS does, once we have the majority voice, it eradicates poverty worldwide instantly for everyone. Now, you had mentioned a few things. Before we go too far, I wish to address some of the things that you mentioned and how
Yes.
GPMS benefits all of your problems that you had. And I will keep it very short. Before I begin, with any problem that you are
Yes.
experiencing now, GPMS is the full solution for every problem that you have. Because what
Yeah.
GPMS does, it unlocks unlimited access to, it unlocks the access to unlimited money and resources for everyone upon earth. This is why it is the solution for everything. One of the reasons. Now, you mentioned what I will say is you mentioned your concern about disease, sickness, the children, HIV. What I say, what GPMS does once we have the majority voice, that's why this is the priority to gather the majority consent. What
Yeah.
it places, for example, in all of Uganda's hands is the highest, best form of medicines and even new technology and new healing um, modalities that assist you fully. And also, what GPMS does by having the worldwide uh, earth, by having everyone happy, it also takes out and eradicates disease because it is the stress that causes all disease, if you will. So once the majority voice is gathered, then the people have access to a lot of the technology that was intentionally kept from the people as well. So I wish to make this very clear. All of your sicknesses, HIV, malaria, West Nile virus, all of these vanish in this new world. And whatever doesn't vanish, you have top of the line healthcare beyond anything you have ever known, which cures very rapidly everyone as well. So this is the HIV, um, your question about that. Now, until we get there, in between here where we are at now, and until we get to that majority vote, which is a temporary space, each one of you, everyone worldwide, are responsible for yourself, for your own sustenance until we get there. And one of the reasons is that GPMS does not have any money until we get that majority vote, because the majority agreement worldwide is what ratifies this treaty agreement of the people into full incontestable law. And what I mean by incontestable, to be clear, it means that nothing can oppose it, nothing can go against it, because it is the majority of the people. And simply all of the people worldwide know that a majority rules. And because of the foundation of divine law with GPMS, it cannot be opposed by any artificial laws, man made laws of governments as well. So again, there is no contest, because what GPMS does, it places everyone in a full place of comfort and security instantly. While in comparison to this system today, It is constantly inflicting harm and death upon humanity, which is savage. And with GPMS, as I said, we have the full knowledge, the full skill set to do this worldwide, to raise all of humanity out of this savagery into civility, into worldwide community, with everyone thriving and in great joy and in comfort and abundance. So, with this, uh, now you're speaking about temporarily with what you had said. These are temporary measures with your economic strategies that you are working on there, which is very great. You're assisting ones, and you have some strategies, at least is my understanding, that are assisting ones to keep them sustained until we get to this new world of GPMS. Now, what I say with this new world of Gpms.world, where you have access to all of the money, resources, um, drill rigs to drill wells, unlimited seeds, very good seeds that are not GMO. Um, you have access to all the good seeds. You have access to all of the utensils and necessary materials to rapidly build greenhouses, grow different varieties of food, anything that you would want to thrive in a lush environment of healthy produce. Instantly, you will have the money and the access to these resources upon getting the majority of the consent again. So, with everything you're doing now, it's beautiful with these temporary economic strategies. But what I need to say in this new world as well, with the children that you are thinking need to be educated now to survive in this world, what is, this world, what is here now, is not going to exist shortly. We are going to be in the new world where children are no longer conditioned and put in schools for years to learn things about a capitalistic, economic, enslaved society. The children no longer need to learn that. The children in the new world will learn what is in alignment with their own interests, what they choose to learn, what they like to learn, what benefits them and the entire community, rather than being told and controlled at what to learn. So I need to make this clear. So, with all of your schools in Uganda, currently and needing to pay to send children there, none of this exists in the near future. And what I need to say, jumping quickly to your healthcare system, not only in Uganda, worldwide, all healthcare becomes free. It is sick. It is not acceptable to see in a country like Uganda when a sick child comes in and a hospital will not assist them if they don't have money. That is sick. That does not occur in the GPMS world because all healthcare is absolutely free. Now, a couple more things, please, I have written down here. So, if I can make out my writing, my own writing. um, so I went with what else do we have? It's important to know that yes, in Africa there are so many orphans, as we all know, and this is important to know with all of these orphans in Uganda with this new world. What occurs is that each child is able then to decide if they wish to live in an abundant community with their other orphan friends, or what occurs worldwide because money is no longer an issue. You have so many good souls worldwide that can be guardians and parents for these children if they choose as well. One of the things you need to know worldwide is that about 90% of the world population is in lack. With this 90%, there are many families that would happily and joyfully assist children and let them be part of their families, especially if an orphan does not have a family. But but what GPMS does no longer is that restriction if this family could afford to assist another child and let them be part of their family. Now they can. So GPMS opens up worldwide many families that may only have one or two children that or none that would love to be a family for all of these orphans worldwide. So what you see very quickly is also a community that not only do the orphans have their own money and their own community and also their own place, their own home, whatever they wish. Not only do they have that option and to be part of their beautiful friends they already have and create a beautiful community that has everything. They have that option and they also have the other option that they can go anywhere in the world with any other family that will accept them. So I needed to make that a very important point as well as another beneficial attribute. What GPMS instantly does for all orphans worldwide. Now, we understand fully at this time, not only with Uganda, but worldwide, that people are in a very poor condition, as I said and mentioned before. Currently, 90% of the world's population is in a place of what you could call financial insecurity for the future or an instant place of lack. Right now, what this means again worldwide, just take. All right, I'll continue. I believe you can still hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you. In this last year, let's start from January to now. In the last 10 months, worldwide, floods have been devastating cities, towns, huge areas. What this devastation is doing, and it is worldwide, Thailand most recently, US, Spain, Italy, Poland, all around the world, these floodwaters are coming in. They are unprecedented floodwaters. Now, with this, what is also occurring is many are losing more and more of their belongings, their homes, and they are becoming desolate with many more homeless. So, having said this, this is compounding worldwide that things, yes, are getting hard for ones and it's getting harder. However, they have to make the choice with GPMS, the new world, and be part of this so that we can end what is occurring with the floods as well. For example, anywhere worldwide with someone, it depends where they're at, when they lose their home, and all of their belongings, even if they own it, what occurs for them to rebuild is this old system wants to give them loans to own and control them again and suck them back into the old system. What GPMS does, if any flood does occur, after GPMS is implemented, and what I need to say, there will be weather will be moderate all around the world with the GPMS world, because what's also occurring is that stress is contributing to these storms worldwide. The more that the people are stressed, they are causing chaotic energy into wind and heat and cold, which is causing turbulence with the weather worldwide and is amplifying the effects of these storms as well. That's also why they are unprecedented, because they are directly fueled by worldwide stress from the masses of the people that are in fear and serious areas of poverty. So, but without getting too far off track with that, in a GPMS environment right today, and believe me, if we had the majority vote right today, everyone in the world would be happy. This would be a different world right at this moment. And let me say, it still can be achieved manually in about a month. Now, having said this, in a Gpms.world, if there was a devastating flood, let's say that you lost your home, where money is no longer an object and where we are all the creators of it, it doesn't matter if you lose a home, because instantly, and because you are free, you have a brand new home, brand new car instantly. There is no stress in this new world. In this existing world, there are many in the past and even now, when they lose everything, they got to work and start back over to try to own a home again. In the GPMS world, you don't do any of that. We are all the community worldwide. The entire earth is a community working together with unlimited capacity in generosity, compassion, and resource. And also, I need to add food in there. Currently, upon Earth, there is somewhere between double, or let's say there are multitudes of food that are growing above what is needed. Meaning, right at this point in the world, so much food is being wasted, which could feed everyone. But I need to also say worldwide that governments are also stopping farmers, let's say in England, as an example, from growing potatoes crops. These huge potato crops could have been grown and given to Uganda as a food source, if you will. But the point I'm making, you're seeing the government is stopping the farms. Netherlands is another prime example where the governments are stopping the farmers from growing produce to assist other nations worldwide. This is being done intentionally. So, all of you need to know that the actual governments worldwide are a crime syndicate, they are a full network. They are not working in the best interests of the people. They have an ulterior motive with a nefarious intent. Most recently, as an example, when you look at the United States, what is supposed to be an advanced country, it is really one of the most savage, is what I need to say. And the reasoning why I say that, just recently, there was a huge hurricane that went up the East Coast. And in North Carolina, what you have is government officials or ones working in different departments of government trying to block assistance from the people in other states to come in to help the ones in North Carolina. Also, in North Carolina, to my most recent update, there is about 20,000 people are still missing, unaccounted for. The response by the U.S. military was very limited, with a few helicopters just dropping off some supplies instead of when the ravaging floods were on, instead of them putting all of their helicopters there to go pick up people and even animals from rooftops. None of that occurred. It showed that the government neglected them, but it also showed further that the government began to tell lies that roads were impassable and set up roadblocks when that was not true. There was at least one road that was blocked and said it was impassable when someone from the inside drove out the whole road. And they said, Rick, that whole road was stable. And when they got out through to Tennessee, they were surprised at the other end to see that the government had roadblocks and signs saying it was impossible. So everyone needs to know worldwide the actual intent of the governments and also the importance why the people all need to come together now to take rightful and lawful ownership of all of the resources upon the planet and do the right thing with them, share them equally. When you look at Africa, with all of its precious metals it had, all of Africa was one of the richest continents in the world. And they were robbed and pillaged of all of these precious metals. But guess what? With Gpms.world, none of that matters anymore because no longer is that the value in the world. You, every child, is the equal unlimited value with GPMS. So we don't need gold, silver, precious metals, any external resources. We are the origin of money. If you were not on this earth, none of you, none of us, money would not exist. So this says that we are the point of origin of it and the value. And instead of letting a few governments control people and make them believe that they are the only ones to create money, we are breaking that illusion and we are creating unlimited money that frees all of humanity from this insanity and places all in a joyous place of abundance and freedom. So GPMS liberates all worldwide. And with this, you can travel freely anywhere in the world because also you don't need to pay for an airplane flight because you are an actual shareholder of these airplanes and also you are a shareholder of the fuel. So what occurs as well with Gpms.world in Uganda, you have what occurs with GPMS World in Uganda, you have excellent internet works and it'll be free in there. What you also have is free carbon fuels for now that you may need. However, there are higher technologies and cleaner technologies that will quickly come in to replace all of these. But the thing is, you will not need to pay for any electricity anywheres worldwide because we are the actual owners of it. And it is an essential and a necessity for humanity. You will not have to pay anything for fuels to run any of your vehicles, any generators, what have you, or anything for heating in the warmer climates. It's all free because we own it. No longer do you need to pay any school fees or health care fees or insurances or any fees of any kind. None of that is part of this new world. So it's important to know that this new world with GPMS is where everyone needs to put the priority now at getting this majority voice collected, because it's with this majority voice that all of humanity's problems are instantly solved. So you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out and understand what I'm saying. This is why the priority has to be put upon getting that majority vote as soon as possible, because every day we wait, over 30,000 worldwide each day are dying from hunger, at least, and many more and more are dying because of stress related factors, not only with their physical health, but causing and affecting extreme weather as well. So you need to know right now what is the most highest moral obligation for everyone, and as well with all of you being guardians for the children there, you are responsible and obligated to look after their best interests. And what I say right now, not only in Uganda, but I say worldwide, every guardian, every parent is obligated to look out for the best interests of their children. And the best interest right now is Gpms.world, because this system is endangering and inflicting great harm and enslavement upon every child. So the onus, the obligation is upon every parent to do what is morally right with their moral obligation that is connected to them being a guardian looking out for the children's best welfare, their best interests, and importantly, their future. I'll take a
Yes.
break. Thank you.
Yes, if there are some other question. I ask you to unmute, Kawara. Kawaba, are you here still with us? I just ask you to unmute, just click OK.
Kawuba Charles, can you hear us? And Faruka, Beatrice has asked you to unmute. I believe you have a question. Thank you.
Noel is talking, but I cannot see any mic. Yes. So do you have more questions
Yes,
about
yes,
GPMs?
yes. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. The project, the program is not bad, but now my concern is you are talked about gathering majority. Eh? Do you have some documentaries? Do you have some paperwork that you can tell us or you can send us so that we can continue distributing it or giving out this information to those people? Because right now what we are targeting is getting the majority. The majority of the people who can enroll this program. So do you have some documentaries? Do you have some
Just
paperwork that?
may I interrupt? Excuse me, please, Charles. Noel and whoever is on here, mute your mics other than Charles, who is speaking, and I. Noel, whoever you are, please. Thank you. Okay, now proceed again, please, Brother Charles. We're listening.
Yes, brother. Yes. Yes. Hello. Hello. Yes. No, we have got at least the information, and at least we are briefed of GPS world, and now what we are supposed to do. At least you have given us a summary. Question. So the question now, Are we going to go in the field? We look for those people to be enrolled on the program for the GPMS. Okay. So another thing, the issue of the facilitation. The issue of the facilitation, because these people are found in the remote areas, and we are facing challenges of the what? Even the what we are going to use, the machines, to look for those people to be enrolled, because when we are educating us, we have seen the program is so interesting and it can help our people to improve on their what? On their standards of living. But now the issue is on the what? How we are going to enroll them on board. Thank you, Mr. Rick.
Thank you, brother. What I suggest is that, it would be very difficult, and at this time, you don't have the money and resources to go in deep to get everyone. So, what I suggest is focus on who you can get that is close to you and spread the word of mouth to these. And these ones will spread the word of mouth, if you will, into the villages. This way, you don't need any monetary resources to spread the word quickly. So, what we do need in Uganda is each one of you that is here in this meeting is we need more representatives that know about what I just spoke. Now, this meeting, we're recording it. We are going to give you a copy of it so that you can review it, all of you, in your own time later, so that you have a greater understanding and the simplicity of Gpms.world. So, getting back again to your answer, it is most wise to focus on the concentrations, the majority of the people. And if that is in the deep, secluded, isolated areas, then send by word of mouth and the message in, if you will, to the representative, the tribal chief. Hey, uh, here's the greatest opportunity ever for your people. Uh, let's say, let's say if you approach it, let's say if you get the word into a tribal village that has 100 deep in the woods that's isolated. Let's say if you get the word in there. So they have a representative, they have a chief, if you will, or a tribal leader that is the proxy to speak for their 100 people. So, having said this, one of the ways that can be done is that this tribal chief, because he's already been pre elected by his people to speak on behalf of his people that he's representing, his name alone, and say that I speak for 100 can be given to us for GPMS. Then we don't need all of the individual consents. Is that clear how this could be done as well?
Yeah, we are getting it.
Thank you. And this is recorded, so it doesn't matter if you don't quite get it now, you will watch later, and any other questions you can ask us later. And what we have prepared, this is with GPMS, we don't have it on the cover site yet. We did have it, but it is what we call a group consent. So this is what we will utilize, because what you have is leaders of the people. And when we look all over Africa, there are the tribal monarchs, if you will. And all of these over Africa right now should have been standing up for their people. And, these are millions of people, and we have so many different tribes of indigenous peoples in Africa. And on our current website, what we have done, we have facilitated for all of these indigenous sovereign groups that, let's say, are not, they don't consider themselves Ugandans. They consider themselves another tribe, if you will, pygmy or what have you. But what is important, we have made provisions and reservations for all of these to come in and be the part of GPMS as well. So I got perhaps a little bit off track there, but what I need to say is that, yes, it's so important. The number one priority, we are in phase one of GPMS, is we're here and we're collecting the majority voice. So that is phase one. Phase two, once we have the majority voice, everything happens very quickly. I anticipate once we have the majority voice that in about a week, funds are distributed to almost everyone worldwide. And the reason why I say this, the existing um, public infrastructure, which is actually the financial routing system in the internet worldwide, is how these funds will be distributed mainly. But there is also the third ingredient. Every central bank of every country worldwide has a monetary printing press where it would print um, paper, money, and also coins. But as the people worldwide takes ownership of the financial routing system, the worldwide internet, they also take ownership of these physical monetary printing presses because in actuality, all of the people worldwide are the shareholders of all of these. So again, I need to make it very clear that we do not need, right at this point, right in this very second, we do not need to build anything new to distribute the funds and make Gpms.world work. Right here, right today, all of the infrastructure is already here to do it. But the problem is, it is not in the hands of the people to do it. It is actually in the hands of the evil, nefarious control. So, this is why lawfully and peacefully and technically, the people just come together with the huge majority voice and it overpowers the control of all of these things that was causing great harm to humanity. So it's an reappropriation of these very important existing utensils and tools for humanity to liberate themselves. But with GPMS, this is why, again, there cannot be any war. Nothing can contest it because what it does, it liberates humanity. And for any darkness and evil to even attempt to contest it, it would be suicide for them. And it would be insane because the majority of the population upon Earth, all we want is love, peace, harmony, and comfort. And GPMS is the divine instrument that is sent to Earth to facilitate this. I would not be sitting here. Look at me. I'm in casual clothes. I am genuine. I am authentic. I am not dressed up with formal suit and a tie, being an actor for something that is not real. I'm here. I am smoking organic cigarettes. This is organic tobacco, but I am smoking and I put myself out worldwide. This is I. It's genuine, but also very importantly, I am connected straight to prime creator God. Yes, God is real. And what I need to say, I would not be doing this if God was not real and if I did not know that. Because what we're doing with GPMS, if God was not real, there would not be a chance in hell for this to succeed. But because God is real and is omnipotent, GPMS is the divine plan given by God through I to start upon the earth. And it's not just I. Yes, I was the one to write it in paper. However, there are all our brothers and sisters are also gathering because we are all part of it, including all of you. So it's not to be done, this new plan, by one. I am a guardian. However, Beatrice is an equal guardian. All of you that may be on here that choose to be are an equal guardian to do what is morally right for the people. So it's important. Yes, this is sent by God. That's why it's called the divine plan. For all of you, and I believe you have some retired pastors or reverends there, this time has been written about. It's been not only prophesied within Christianity, within Islam, the Islamic faith, within all faiths and beliefs and prophecies worldwide. This time has been written about the full freedom and abundance of humanity. And this is what GPMS is. It's what was written and integrated throughout antiquity through all of the written major beliefs upon the earth, for all to be prepared for this time to recognize it. This is the time. It is here now. So you have God with you. We have God with us. If we did not, this would not even be occurring. So it's important for I to state and share that truth with you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, so in general, to know more about GPMS, we have right now also a website that it is also inside of Gpms.world website. It is a GPMS community. And there I added a lot of practically all the video that I gathered from everywhere. And I'm still working on the small videos because they can be seen, especially for the people with internet data, up to 10 minutes per video. Then practically you can see exactly, you do not spend your time like hours. You can see by the subject that you are interested on. And also we have a lot of photo. I added also social media, hundreds of photo from where you can learn about universal natural law and a lot of good stuff. So the newsletter also are almost done. So practically I will attach under this video, when the video will be with link, I will attach on the comments also the small video and the social media link, just to have it and to share, because it's very important, especially on the area where there is no internet or internet only data, or so practically you can learn a lot, and there are a lot of answers there, like the intrinsic value. This is very important to understand a little bit about GPMS. Unlabeled rights, it's about a lot. It's about the money, unlimited money. And especially Rika did also yesterday, I saw another video, and from there I just cut already 5 videos from the big one by subject, with up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So excellent that you can hear exactly the message that remain in your heart, and you can share. Then you can know a lot. So this is not a problem. We can have meetings on question answers, but the question that you have, you can find a lot of answers also right now online.
Okay. Yes. Okay, fine. We don't have an objection with it. Because you have talked about visiting on a website, we shall continue visiting the website and then see some of the videos and share some of the, if you have our comments and some of the questions that you wanted to know about the program, we shall continue visiting the website and share all the concerned information that we want to get from you. But also my concern was because your target is looking at the numbers, the majority. If the majority people are accepting your program, we need to come up with a lot of documentations. If you have some documentations, you can send it on the website, and then we can, if you have data, you can download it and then share it with people, and also share with them some of the link on how we can get you, so that we, because our target is getting the majority according to the presentation from race, because it's looking at how are we going to get the majority before we look at how we are going to support these vulnerable groups of people. When we get the majority, we are sure that these vulnerable groups of people will be supported at all.
Yeah, and we have also right now in Telegram, if you can connect to Telegram, we have an account right now for question answer, and just send the question there. Then the administrators of the account will answer. Yes, Rick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Beatrice. To answer what Charles was saying, I also need to give a little background, so bear with me again. If you look currently in every country worldwide, there is some form of a constitution. And when you look at in the constitutions, many or most, if not all of these constitutions, has at least two very important clauses in it. One clause in the country's constitution is that they recognize and know that they are morally obligated to ensure the sustenance for every man, woman, and child. So, what this means is that every world's government was morally obligated to ensure that there was no lack worldwide. Also, within the Ugandan constitution, it is there to provide for all of the orphans. So, if the government of Uganda was doing this, why is so many orphanages that are genuine reaching outside looking for donations and support? This shows very clearly that the governments are reneging and are violating the constitutions. So, by the governments able to violate constitutions, it shows that the Constitution itself is not an enforcement document. When we take this further out worldwide, it shows all constitutions are not valid documents. And when you take it even further, you will find that humanity is not provisioned to be assisted and self sustained. So, what this clearly shows you is that there is a nefarious underlying intent with the governments themselves, that they're not working for the people, they are working to enrich themselves and the corporations. This is the blatant truth. So when you ask us for a documentation, the most powerful documentation upon this earth is included on the GPMS website. It is each one's individual proclamation and decree of their sovereignty. This is the most powerful document that you would ever see, and it's all anyone really needs. So I need to say that. So, what other documentation are you asking for? Where's it going to come from? It's not going to come from any governments within their legal systems, because their legal systems is artificial law. It's man made law in their best interest to favor them. That's why you have so many orphans in Uganda today, so many people starving, because you have not been compensated at all. So it becomes very clear again that the most powerful document that any individual can have is actually on that GPMS website. So I strongly suggest for you to read the divine law and also the document mess to know what you are doing. Sovereign free status, which says no to a government. A government is harming people by depriving them of sustenance and money. You cannot become a part of that. If you do, you are an accomplice to a great crime upon humanity. When you claim your God sovereign free status through your decree, your proclamation on the website, it redeems you, it raises you from that huge crime. You are no longer an accomplice. You are free from any incrimination from that system. Right at this current time, everyone that knows about GPMS and has not consented yet, they are an accomplice for the old system, which is criminal. And every day, more and more evidence and documentation is coming out worldwide to that effect. So each one also needs to know, again, your inherent moral obligation of doing what is right. You can, the most the most concrete, powerful document ever known in law and worldwide is the document, the contract that one has with themselves. And this is the type of contract that you have within Gpms.world. You are making a contract with yourself that cannot be violated. It is the most concrete. And this contract with yourself also means that no third party can enter in between that contract unless you invite them in. And anyone in their own mind with a little bit of common sense is not going to invite a third party in to break their contract and cause them to go into misery and suffering. That is insanity. People are not stupid. So
Yeah.
that's just part of the reasons. Now, also, universally, worldwide, with your Human Rights Declaration, there's a very important clause in there that is recognized worldwide to the most degree. That clause is you have the right to self determination. What the right to self determination means is you have the absolute full right, it's already recognized by the majority worldwide, to vote for what type of system you wish to have governing you or to be part of its governance or its autonomy. So, with this, the right, the lawful status is already written worldwide. If you want further documentation and evidence, you look at the right of self determination, which is basically your right to choose. But in this case, as I just laid out for you, you really have no other right as but to choose GPMS World because of the moral obligation engagement what it has created worldwide, meaning that anyone that doesn't choose it is in a state of immorality and also are incriminating themselves, becoming a criminal. I'll leave it there so I don't complicate things further. Thank you.
Yeah. Kawaba, Charles, if you have a question. today?
There are several people under Charles. Now this is Faruku. Faruku under Charles, network problem. But this is the sober Faruku. Now we've been talking about, I passed them through GPMS, this, that. So that's where we've reached. So, these are people representing, most of them have not talked to you people. We have here the leader of the army veterans. We have here retired reverends. We have here. So let me first give you the veteran to have something to say to us. The veteran.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Moses Mudwaulira, a former soldier from the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. And we formed an association, the Veterans Association, covering the whole of Busoga, but it is basically in Jinja. Our major role was to make sure or to help veterans to get demobilized or to get integrated into civilian life. These were people, most of the lower rank and people who didn't have skills. So we really had the problem of making them to reintegrate into civilian life. Mostly the economic issue as it concerned. Most of them did not have any income. So we tried to get them trained in animal traction, community theater, and beekeeping. Then also, you find that most of them were demobilized because of health problems. Most of them had AIDS and many died. So we still have the task of looking after their families, the orphans, the widows. And that's how we got attached to Hands of Mercy, as we were soliciting for support to look after these veterans. You find that the government have put much effort in trying to fight poverty, put much programs like the wealth creation, Mioga, and what have you. But veterans of the lower rank are ever forgotten. Government have always forgotten them. So all we have to do is to sustain this association, to go outreach right in the villages. Basically, you find that veterans are almost the lowest of society. We are indeed very poor, and diseases are like no man's business. So basically, that's where we are. Thank you. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, that's where we are.
Thank you so much for this. And what I can say, every veteran will be taken care of as well. With GPMS, every disabled one, every veteran, it changes the entire world. And I totally am in full compassion with what you're saying about the veterans. Yes, with PTSD and their inability after what they experienced to even fit into society again. And, this has been prevalent worldwide. I always love to use as an example some of the U.S. veterans and what they have seen, but also what they have shared worldwide, where their orders were to kill innocent women and children, which also gives more evidence of the corruption. What we say with all veterans worldwide, and also any existing military or police force, it becomes each military officer and police officer worldwide, it becomes a moral obligation to no longer support these corrupt criminal governments worldwide. So with
Yeah.
this, each individual also needs to make a choice. And I'll make it very clear here again, with GPMS, there is no fighting, there is no aggression, there is simply collecting the majority peacefully, which assimilates reality. And no military can go against the people. It would go against their conscience and their morality,
Network.
as well as any police force. And
Mm.
so none of them can. So what I need to say, as we go forward, the militaries and police forces are breaking down, and they also cannot support the governments. Whatever is left, these numbers are minimal, and it doesn't matter. And organically, these old things of aggression, especially military, they're non-existent up here. What we do in the GPMS world, any weapons and artillery of mass destruction, all of this metal is recycled down to rapidly produce things like robotics and higher technology to advance the human society forward. In this world of GPMS, there is absolute peace worldwide, meaning there is no use for any military equipment any longer that is let's say weapons at least. You know, let's look at military trucks. These are great tools that a peaceful world could use, especially amphibian types and what have you as we go forward. So anything that is in the best interest of humanity and assisting with the essential goods and services from the military, the people actually own all of this equipment as well. And because each one of you are a shareholder of everything that was ever made on planet Earth, if you will, the moment that any child was born, and also including you, the moment that a government recognizes you and gives you a number and includes you into that country system, what this does, it makes you a bona fide shareholder of not only the fictitious debt, but it makes you a shareholder of all of the assets of that country. That is why a child 1 second old or 1 minute old, the soonest they were registered into the government system, it made them a bona fide lawful shareholder. And this is also why every child is lawfully allowed to vote in the Gpms.world, because every child is also an actual shareholder into this. And lawfully and technically, what I just stated, the shareholder status cannot be contested, it cannot be refuted nor ignored as well.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
also, when you go into the artificial law, if they were to ignore this as well, the foundation of their artificial law is also becomes more biased, and have any you cannot have a lawful system that is biased, that is partial. Impartiality is absolute law, which is equal in fairness to all. So I got a little bit off track there, but I wanted to give you a little bit more
Yeah,
understanding. So there is
yeah.
no military force with GPMS, and also it doesn't work. And simply what I need to say, part of the 10 commandments is very important, especially the one, do not kill, and also do not engage in an eye for an eye and fight
Mm.
fear with fear. This is against God. God is
Yeah.
peace, harmony, and working together. With God, there is no aggression, especially military, because there is nothing to fight about with the GPMS world. everyone has everything and shares into full abundance.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Follow.
You are done with the veteran. Now you want a reverend. Reverend now. Now the reverend is done speaking to you.
Hello, how are you, my friend? I'm glad to hear from you. I'm Reverend Benon Kavanda Warube, a retired clergy in the Busoga Diocese.
No, the microphone is there. It's open. It's probably the internet connection. Yeah.
We cannot hear you, Reverend. Please get your device close to the strongest internet and try again. I am so excited and grateful to hear you begin to speak. So I dearly wish to hear what you have to say. So try it again, brother.
No, it's lost. They lost the connection, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll wait for him to come back in, yeah, with a stronger connection, perhaps. Yeah. There he is.
Yes.
Hello? Now,
Yes.
you know, network problem, but it's okay. This is so we're trying to organize the Reverend. I'm sorry. Now you are getting me? Are you
Yes.
getting me, Beatrice? Okay. The Reverend now is.
So I decided with my friends to form this group, and we are looking for means of how we can help these retired people, because we have the retired clergy, we have the widows, and we have the orphans who are not having any help at all. These orphans are not going to school, so we thought if we have somebody to assist us, that we can facilitate these people, that they may feel still wanted in the community. So that's the purpose. Assisted in getting that, reaching that goal. That's all, my brother and sister.
Thank you so much, Reverend. What I need to say is, again, you know, we are totally aware worldwide of the situation. And having said this, we did one venture where I had did an experiment, if you will, out to the world. So in Uganda, we have it's about 76 orphanage alliances, if you will, and they represented 2,100 children, and I believe with directors included. So I did an experiment for a fundraiser to ask for only $2,100, which would have provided a meal for every one included in those orphanages, one meal. So I did a test, an experiment for a goodwill gesture to see if I was able to raise funds to do this. What I wish to say, what occurred with the experiment, it took about a month. No one answered. No wealthy philanthropist answered to do that goodwill gesture of just $2,100. And about a month later, we did have three very good hearts that donated a little bit, but it was not enough. So what I did is I contacted the three initial ones and I said, hey, we don't have enough. No one stepped up to make the full amount. So when I had told this to one dear divine brother, because of his great love for the children, he took it upon himself then that he said, I will put whatever is needed in there to do this. So we did get $2,100, and we did send that to the 76 Orphanage Alliance so that the money was distributed equally to each orphanage. If an orphanage had 30 in it, they got $30 to provide for one meal. So, having said this, as you all unite together, and also where you become a bigger unity, a bigger alliance, this also accreditates you for the rest of the world, because there are so many scams out there worldwide that also people that are able to donate, they're very hesitant because they have been scammed in the past by so many. So what GPMS has done is to get a bona fide alliance in Uganda with accredited ones. Then the outside sources should be able to fund and assist temporarily between now and then. However, what we are anticipating is between and the Gpms.world implementation, I am anticipating wealthy philanthropists to come in here and to assist. However, the truth is, I do not see any yet, but must come. They are divinely placed somewhere on earth to assist in this time for to some degree at least. Now, as we go forward, the more that we gather worldwide, it creates a very huge access to others, other groups, other support groups, other resources, if you will. So what this does, it creates more options and more access to more options, temporary measures for all of you that's listening here today, and of course, all in Uganda. So, again, the unity, the gathering of getting connected as well, and being a part of GPMS gives you a much broader base of access to any temporary measures you may require. And at the same time, it's accrediting you for the world as well, which is a very important part, as I know all of you know this in your challenges in the past at trying to get funding. You know, the ones would want pictures taken, the ones would want videos. But the truth is, none of this is legitimate as well, because with the bona fide scammers, they would just go out and take pictures and take videos and make it look like they were a head of an orphanage. But what this does, it had caused great harm to the genuine orphanages. So also with GPMS, as we're accrediting the orphanages, the genuine ones, it's also identifying the scammers and the bad ones. And as they get identified and more people come to know who they are, it eliminates the scamming, and they're no longer hurting the children or funding that may come in as well. So this, as you can see, this is an absolute ingenious process as well for going forward. So with GPMS, once again, it has all of the answers, all of the solutions, and all of the resources. We know what we're doing. As we keep collecting the worldwide voice, we're also collecting all of the skill sets as well. So I'll stop there. Thank you. If I answered what you had.
Thank you very much, brother. God bless you.
Now you've not talked to any lady today. Today let me present some lady here. Let one lady at least represent the the groups of the ladies. Let one lady represent.
Hey, hey, hope you're doing well. Now, what we have finished challenges that we are going through in Uganda, but basically, orphans are facing a lot of challenges. Remember, some of them lost their parents when they are still young. So we came up with an organization and we are working hand in hand with Hands of Mercy to help them attain education, good health care services. Though some of them, their parents died because of HIV, and you find that some of them were also infected with the process. The fact that the parents had and they gave birth to them, they also got infected with HIV. And also these orphans, sometimes they get these challenges, getting scholastic materials. Sometimes it's hard to get food for them to eat. When they go to school, they can study like for 1, 2, 3 days. They are sent back home. But we work hard, we sensitize them, we tell them the importance of education, and they also go ahead, help them attain the education. Some we at least the little we have, we provide for them food, but sometimes it becomes hard basing on the situation and the conditions in Uganda. And the fact that some of them are sick, like their parents died of HIV, they got infected, they drop out of school, they cannot continue attending school every day because they are weak. Getting medical care for them becomes also a challenge. And also we have the young girls who drop out of school because of pregnancy. Remember, they stay in the village. These men come in, convince them, they impregnate them, and they don't take care of them. They become mothers at a very young age. You are giving birth to a child, but you're also a child. And supporting that kid becomes also a challenge to them. Thank you.
So please also add their name on GPMS because also the children can vote. Yes, Rick. You are mute.
Oh, it's fine, Beatrice. If you wanted to say something, go ahead. But then quickly, what I will say, I am well aware of child trafficking, children being sold, children being abused, not only in Uganda, worldwide, and also in Africa. It has been prevalent. And also, what you had is some US based organizations also committing many cases of violation and abuse against the children. So it is all encompassing, and I'm well informed of all of this. And once again, GPMS eradicates all of this forever. So I am very aware of also these problems involving the children and the orphans and also the society. You brought up a great point about in Uganda where the children are, or the parents, when they have children, are unable to afford to feed and keep them. With Gpms.world, these same parents have their own money with this, so they can afford anything and everything, and also most certainly at providing not only for a family of 10, but so much more. Now, also with, let's say, if you have a family of 10, each child also has their own money. So they're not dependent upon the parents and the guardians as well. So it's very important to know that not only every parent, upon the implementation of Gpms.world, gets an instant $20,000 equivalent US one lump sum payment up front, but every child gets that. So if you've got an orphanage there of 10 children, you have each one of those children receiving $20,000 upon the implementation of it as well. And with GPMS, the children will do not need to work until perhaps they're about 18. But even if they get to 18 now, they may not even need to work because things are going to happen and occur so quick. So, what ones call in this reality work, it'll actually become a hobby or a pastime in the future because you have all of your freedom and abundance. The only things that the world needs to work for is just the essential goods and services, which is just the necessities that we need to flourish, to take a human society forward. So, to keep it simple, all of the problems you brought up, again, GPMS is the complete solution for that in all ways. And you also need to realize and understand that by the course of creating this joyous world, you also begin to eliminate the pedophiles, the ones that are sexual predators, and all of these distorted ones. Because also, if these distorted ones are goods, are soul able to go forward, they change. Because in this new environment, none of this abuse or sexual predation or any of this does not occur up here. This is the absolute safest environment ever known beyond history and whatever was known to man. This is the divine world. This is the utopia that is very real. And our brother Reverend there can tell you very quickly, he knows about God's promise. He knows about the rapture. At least it's written in so many ways that Christ would come back like a thief in the night. No one would know Christ is on the planet to prepare the people and establish the kingdom for God. And this is God's kingdom, Gpms.world, what's being established in. And it's the place where the lion, where no child needs to be put.
Oh, so Rick is lost. If somebody can hear me. So inside of the orphanages, the people will have a housing for free for every child, one room and everything. Utilities paid, so for free. Cars as needed for free, or everything that it's like transportation and everything. Education is for free, including like today recognized universities. So even that a child become adult at 18 years old, he continued to receive money because he's student. So this cannot stop him go to work, then you cannot go to study. This is not a problem. All the education is free, and also all the medical is free. It's free for everyone, and is based on frequency and natural products that can eradicate more than 95% of illnesses in the world that we have right now. So this is absolutely not a problem at all. Much more than that, every child will receive per month $10,000, no taxes, when all the cost of the life is going down. So, and practically many things are coming for free. So you do not need to care about the future. The future, it's amazing. What we need to care, it's about to make the name of the children inside of GPMS system website, and to gather how many consents we can in short time to be able to start this amazing system. This is cosmic system. So everything else will come, inclusive you will be not alone. You'll have a lot of people around you to care about the children. And they will be paid $10,000 per month, every adult that is working. And they will be not working 40 hours per week. So there will be many, and yes. Yes.
Yes, we are getting it. They're just feeling happy what you are trying to explain, that free education, free transport, free food. They're just happy to hear. You can continue, Beatrice, please. They're hearing you. You can continue, please.
Yeah, so free housing, free utilities. So this is about the new world. And practically will be the people working for administration to make this possible for everyone, and the new technology that will be introduced, that the new technology will speed everything up. So this will be not a problem for the people, and these people will be very paid. $10,000 per month with no taxes, and imagine when the cost of the life may go down like $500 or even less, and having a lot of opportunities. And it's not necessary for, we are saying a child that practically he arrived already to the 18 years old. It's not necessary to gather the money for education if wants to study more, because he will just be paid just to study if he wants to continue. So he will have the $10,000, and 18 years old already will be not on the orphanages. It's not necessary to stay there, because he has access via the administration to free housing and utilities on his own. So this is not a problem. The money will be not a problem, and the resources are shared. So right now, via the law, we have a restriction: do not use the resources. But when we are able to use the resources and all the resources are shared, this is not a problem.
Okay, please, Beatrice. So the only assignment we are having is that we should reach out to the gospel of GPMS, so that people who are willing should register willingly. And I'm seeing. So it means that we are going to reach time, and we shall not need any more filling of names on the GPMS forms. It is going to reach time when we don't need any more numbers.
Exactly.
Is it so?
Yes, exactly. This is all about, because with GPMS, we change the law, the international law. It is about universal natural law. Then when the law is changed, everything starts to be possible, because right now we have all the time restriction on the law, but on the new law, we do not have this kind of the restriction. Everybody will be living in abundance. So imagine a world where 95% of the actual illnesses are going down. Nobody will have HIV, and many of the disabilities will disappear. Imagine this kind of world.
Yes.
This is based on the new technology that is coming, and the new technology will be free for everyone. All the medical is free. Yes, Rick. Yes, Rick. I cannot see you. Yes, Rick. So you have the microphone open and the camera open, but you are not on the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the
now my
internet problem.
Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Now my question is, when my people asking on themselves that when is this system going to start working? When is it going to start working?
When we are able to get the power, to get the control over the governments. And practically, when something, for example, happens in Uganda, the people start
Yes.
to hear, then you influence also other in the world to do the same. Then practically others will start in another part of the world, others will start, then practically this is coming. It's based on energy. So when the people will hear, they will start to do the same. Because GPMS, it's not really known. This is the first problem. Then
Okay, please.
practically there will start. GPMS can start normally in 1 month if the people really start to hear about GPMS and they gather. If they do not gather, then this is the waiting time. Yes, Rick.
Thank you. Beatrice, was the meeting still ongoing, and was it I that went out and come back in? Was that what just occurred?
So you disappeared even that your microphone and the camera was here, but practically you were not seen on the Zoom.
All right, great.
You
Well,
disappeared.
I'm back now. So what I'm about to say is that the vote with Gpms.world, it's a cumulative vote, meaning that yes, we keep collecting the votes until we reach the majority. So it's inevitable. So there is no time, if you will, time limit to have the votes in. This is an open, ongoing vote until we collect the majority. And it's a tangible vote, meaning that you can watch the numbers increase. And once we get to that magic number of the majority, you know that your beautiful free world is at hand. So it's imminent, but it's also inevitable because it's a cumulative vote and there is no time set on it other than when we have the majority. So that is all concrete and absolute. One only ever needs to vote once. Vote, is your consent. And it only takes less than 3 minutes for one to consent. And they don't need to consent anymore. Their name is added to this worldwide treaty agreement. So there comes the time that, yes, we only collect the consent until we get to the majority. Then what occurs, the people enacts Gpms.world into law. You also need to understand the way that artificial law works today. What the world runs by is that most of the laws were made by judges or legislative communities that were paid by the government themselves. So this created a bias and a conflict of interest, which was not impartial. So what this actually further means is that any law that a judge made, if it was not in the interest to uplift all of humanity, if it suppressed them in any way, or if it conformed them to obey a corporation or a monetary policy by a government, this is criminal. This is what you would call partial. It's biased because the judge was influenced by his or her employer because he was being paid, meaning that his choice could not be his or her choice. The judge, their choice could not be impartial because they had to appease the government or the state first as the priority over the best interests of the people, which they did. And because of this, the whole legal system, AI, artificial law system, is null and void worldwide. It does not have any effect because it did not include the ratification by the majority of the people. You had one judge in one country making a law without the proper consultation and information to the rest of the people worldwide. So this one judge was a dictatorship. It was not the entire and consented to this law. GPMS, what it does with the new law, it's doing it lawfully and properly by ratifying the full agreement into existence by the majority. Gpms.world is impartial. It is full, absolute, unbiased law because it's taking the consideration of every human worldwide, taking their best interest into absolute consideration and then adding more, meaning that we're not stopping at a basic income, at the basic necessities. No, every human life has the right to full comfort and full abundance. And this is what we're doing. No longer are we suppressing and enslaving humanity. And no, we are not throwing a bone of a basic, universal basic income to humanity. No, we're not accepting that. We're taking it beyond that. So everyone is thriving, everyone is happy.
Yeah, again, the internet is
Everyone
the
is
problem.
free, not
You are also mute right now, Rick. And also frozen, the image is frozen. So the internet is also the problem. We have already 2 hours of meeting today. Yeah, so we
Yes.
have also, yeah, so we just need to connect. Oh, I believe that Rick is back. Rick?
Thank you, Madam. Please.
thank you, Beatrice. How much was heard before I was before you lost me?
Probably almost everything that you wanted to say as message. It was just in the last 1 minute
Yes.
or 2 minutes you were frozen. 1 minute probably from the conversation. And we have
right.
already 2 hours of meeting, yeah.
All right. With that for another time, but it was explaining what I said, what you didn't get, how the existing system is actually unlawful, what it is in, and how laws were made by judges and legislative committees that were in a direct conflict of interest when they made them, meaning that the whole system, their legal system, governments and even international law, it's all null and void. And with international law, none of it can be enforced because it was never ratified also by the people. So with GPMS.world, we are lawfully ratifying it into full law so that it is enforced by its own state of being. With international laws today, not all have joined those, and to limited degrees, mostly the US, China, these big powers did not really fully join it. So then what you have is not a ratified, enforceable agreement. And this is why you had wars and pestilence and poverty, all of these things as well, because no one could be controlled by absolute state of law. GPMS is the absolute superior state of law. Anything below it is inferior and even criminal when you look at the current legal system. But I'll stop there. Thank you.
Yeah, so as the meeting has already 2 hours, so we invite you from Uganda to reach us also on Telegram. Then practically we can direct you towards our account, question and answer. And also the people that wants to become representative to share the message of Gpms.world. So we have also this kind of accounts. We have also Facebook accounts where the message of GPMS is all the time updated with any video that is coming, and everybody that is posting about GPMS that is recognized, that knows GPMS already. So if you have access to Telegram, Facebook, this is just amazing.
Yeah, we have access to Telegram. We shall check on the Telegram programs about GPMS. Facebook, we shall keep following and we shall keep posting updates on ground. And Ricky, we shall keep in touch. Isoba and Charles will keep in touch with you. Even you share contacts with Beatrice, she can also as well keep communicating us. We keep updating each other. We keep work moving, just like that.
Yes,
Charles.
sure.
Charles.
Yes, thank you so much, Ricky and Beatrice, for your time. We really appreciate so much. And even the team behind me, they are very appreciative for your time and commitment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Rick, you are muted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all. What I wish to say, it's important, all of you that will watch this and that is on here, to be more informed with the details, because as Beatrice said, you are all representatives. However, you are informed with a lot of the details, but when you're out giving GPMS to someone on the street, if you will, it is easy for you not to explain everything. You can say Gpms.world is a worldwide referendum, a vote. Do you want a new, free, and abundant world, if you will? And if they say yes, then you say, all right, if you wish to agree with it, then you can put your information in yourself on the website, or you can give it to I. So with these ones, it becomes just a simple question. Do you want this new free and abundant system or not? And you say, if they say yes, well, we're having a worldwide vote. Once we reach the majority, you have it. So if you wish to choose it, it is important you put your name in here. So you can keep it that simple. Now, for more, let's say, of ones that are educated, if you will, they'll tend to want more details. But we have given you a lot here tonight. And also, I can answer any question. And you would have saw that if you could have saw everything I was saying that kind of got when I dropped out. But nevertheless, we are here. We have all of the answers for any question. And I also say it's important with Brother Wandera Regans and with that existing orphanage alliance already in Uganda to get connected as well with them, to amalgamate or whatever you wish to do to create a bigger unity group. And again, it's so simple. The main focus is on, as soon as possible, collecting as many that agree with this new world so we can get their votes, their consents added so we can get this connected, get the consents gathered so we get it ratified worldwide, so we eradicate all poverty, all disharmony worldwide instantly upon getting this majority vote. But also, even before we reach it, what is occurring is that it's going to get now to the majority vote in days. It's quite possible. So there is that point of virality somewhere that it's going to reach, and things are going to happen very quickly. So the important thing is keep your full faith, your full trust in it. Don't give up. We keep going forward, and it is inevitable, and it does happen. And with that, my love, light, and gratitude to all of you that have been here today. My utmost gratitude for Sister Beatrice that has taken the time to host and record this show. And with that, have a beautiful evening. Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much to
Thank you.
everyone from Uganda and also to Rick. And just see you later as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, 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 bye.